Hi, my name is Fendi. I'm a physiotherapist here at the Singapore Heart Foundation, and today we will go through some common mistakes that you might commit while exercising at home and also give you some tips to make your exercise more efficient. For the first exercise, we'll be doing the squat. Now, there are 3 points to remember as we do this exercise. Firstly is to keep your arms forward. Secondly is to sit back during the exercise. And third is not to let the knees cross your toes as you do the movement. I'll be showing you 10 repetitions of the squat exercise. Now, we're going to start in 3, 2, 1, let's go. And that's the end of the squat exercise. For the next exercise, we'll be doing lunges. Now, there are 3 important points to remember before you actually do your lunge. Firstly, you need to ensure you have a wide base of support. Secondly, you need to think of yourself as an elevator and go straight down and up. Alright, and lastly, to make sure that your knees don't cross your toes. So when you go down and up, your knees are not crossing your toes. Now, I'll be showing you 10 repetitions of the lunge exercise. We'll start in 3, 2, 1, let's go. And that's the end of the lunge exercise. Before we start doing the bicep curls exercise, there are 3 important points to take note of while doing the bicep curls. Firstly is to lock your elbows to the side, making sure they don't go forwards or backwards as you do the movement. Secondly is to go slowly and steadily during the exercise. And lastly is not to lean back as you do the movement, and this is both dangerous and also inefficient as you are not lifting the weight up efficiently. Okay, so I'll be showing you 10 repetitions of the bicep curls exercise. We'll begin in 3, 2, 1, let's go. And that's the end of the bicep curls exercise. For the next exercise, we'll be doing shoulder flies. Now, before you start doing the exercise, you will need to choose a dumbbell or a weight that is not too heavy or not too light. If the weight is too light, the exercise will be inefficient. And if the weight is too heavy, you will realize that you will start compensating to do the movement. Now, there are 3 important points to take note of before you start doing the movement. Firstly, is to raise the dumbbells to slightly below 90 degrees and not higher than that. Secondly, is to make sure you don't lock out the elbows and to keep it slightly bent. Lastly, is to make sure that you don't shrug your shoulders as you do the exercise. If you start to notice these compensatory movements, the weight might be too heavy for you, and that's a sign that you will need to lower down slightly. Now, I'll be showing you 10 repetitions of the shoulder fly exercise. Let's begin in 3, 2, 1, let's go. And that's the end of the shoulder fly exercise. For the next exercise, we'll be doing the seated row with a resistance band. Now, there are 3 important points to remember while doing this exercise. Firstly, is to keep your feet on the ground throughout the exercise. Secondly, is to make sure not to shrug your shoulders up as you do the exercise. And lastly, is to make sure you pull backwards instead of upwards throughout the whole movement. This is to make sure you are targeting the muscles between the shoulder blades and not your shoulder shrugging muscles. I'll be showing you 10 reps as an example of the seated row with resistance band exercise. We'll begin in 3, 2, 1, let's go. And that's the end of the seated row exercise with resistance band. Now that we've finished with your exercise proper, I'll be going through some deep breathing techniques. Now, the most important thing to take note of during your deep breathing is not to use your accessory muscles, especially the ones in your neck. Alright? So how do we do that is to make sure that your chest does not rise by putting one hand over your chest and the other hand over your diaphragm to make sure you're using the correct muscle group. Alright? We'll be taking 2 seconds of an inhalation through your nose and 5 seconds of an exhalation through pursed lips. We'll be doing 3 deep breaths in 3, 2, 1. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Last one, breathe in and out. Well done, you've completed your deep breathing technique. Thank you for joining us today. Remember to do your cool down, stretch your major muscle groups and rehydrate. See you, bye bye.